So Paul, tell me about Avalanche List Building. I understand that this is not the first time you've produced a course called Avalanche List Building.
No, this is going to be version 2. This is Avalanche List Building 2.0. The first version I launched back in March 2012. That product came about when I started to build my list, and I was making a little bit of money while building my list. And at the time, I'd just come away from building niche sites. So I had a following of people that kind of watched me build niche sites and make money with affiliate sites and all that.
Yeah.
And when I got out of that, I sold a lot of my niche sites, and then I started to build a list. And then all of my customers wanted to find out how I was building lists and making money at the same time. So this is how Avalanche List Building 1.0 came around. I basically built the course for my customers and my subscribers and launched that in 2012 and kind of showed them exactly how I was building my list, making a little bit of money with the traffic methods that I was using at the time and all that.
Excellent. So, it's like the cliche is the money is in the list. And I think for anybody that wants to get involved in making consistent commissions online, if they don't have a list, they don't really have, there are other ways you can do it, but if you want to keep it consistent, it almost like get as close as you can to the sort of push button success principle, then a list is definitely the way to go, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I've heard for so many years, the money's in the list. Obviously, I've been building lists now, just like you, for quite a few years. But when I was a newbie, when I was a beginner, back in sort of 2009, 2010, I used to hear a lot of people talking about build a list. And you hear it and you kind of know that you should be doing it, but you don't really take action because you don't really know how to do it.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you kind of need to know. And when you do eventually start to learn, there's so much bad information that gets chucked around. It's sometimes you can't get anywhere because the information you do learn from is bad information, and you just you don't really end up getting anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So you could be building a list, but you could be building the list incorrectly. You could be building the wrong kind of list. You could be building a list that wasn't, it was costing you too much money, that wasn't giving you a return on investment. So although we all know that we need a list, it's not just the list, is it? You don't just, if you've got a list, make money. You need to know how to build the list and what to do with it once you've got it.
Absolutely. And this is what 1.0, this is the version 1.0. This is what I covered. I covered how I was building my list and how I built a relationship with my subscribers and my customers. But since releasing that course, that was 2012, that was 5 years ago now, I've been meaning to update that course and launch a new one over the last couple of years, but I've just not got around to doing it.
So give us an idea, Paul, what sort of money could somebody pull in on a monthly basis? Can we say on half on autopilot or semi-autopilot? How does the business work for you?
Yeah, well, the 1.0 version that I released in, as I said, March 2012, I covered everything that I was doing at the time back then in my business to make, I think I was making around, $1,000 to around $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And at the time, that was obviously really good money.
Yeah.
And I had things in place, set up, working for me on 99% autopilot. But what I do differently these days, I'm earning a lot more money. I'm pulling in between $5,000 and $10,000 per month.
Wow.
And everything that I now do in my business, there's a lot more advanced strategies and tactics and methods that I now use. So it is still on autopilot, but the things that I cover in this Avalanche List Building 2.0 version is so much more profitable, so much more powerful than what I covered in the first version. Because as you know, after so many years of working on certain things, certain methods, certain sort of techniques, you improve them, you own your skills, and it's got to a point now where the 2.0 version that I released, you could set this up, and this is a complete business which just works on its own. The term that I like to use, and I use this in the first version, is a well-oiled machine, and it kind of is. Once you set it all up and you get everything in place, like I show you in the actual course, then you can just drive some traffic to it, which I show you how to do, and it all works on complete autopilot. So that's the best thing. That is the best thing, rather than having to be there all the time in order to make money in your business.
Yeah, well, I know that obviously you and I are in touch quite a lot on a daily basis, I'd say, and there's plenty of times that you're away from your business, doing what you want to do, and kind of spending time on your hobbies and interests, and I guess just your rest and relaxation away from the business while you've still got this money coming in. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching this now that would love to be able to have that kind of quality time, that they can enjoy the things that they enjoy in life with the peace of mind that there's money coming in while they're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the reasons why I got into this business in the first place is so you can lead a lifestyle which most people can't lead, as you know yourself. And the thing about when you build lists is you don't actually have to be there to maintain. I mean, you have to maintain things, but you can, once things like this are set up, once you have your own list building system, like your own foundation in place and things in place, traffic methods and certain foundations and platforms, which I'm going to show you in the course, you can go away for a few days and not really worry about your business, because it's going to be working all the time.
Yeah.
And this is the main reason why I used the formula which I show in the course in such a way, because I didn't just want to trade my time for money, just like you doing a job.
Yeah.
I'd be no different to just working in a full-time job if I did that.
Exactly, yeah. And I know from my own point of view as well that there's been times, I can remember a couple of months ago, I was actually sitting in a fish and chip shop on a Friday night waiting for our order. I was on my phone and I logged into my autoresponder and I prepared an email and I sent the email out, and I earned money before I left the chip shop. And this is the reality of our business, because once you've got your list, you've got the ability to make money, and like you said, you can be wherever you want. That is the absolute truth about this, is that you can do this from anywhere in the world with an internet connection, and you don't even, yes, with a laptop ideally, but it can be done from a smartphone or a tablet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the best things about this business. And this kind of happened to me last month when I was away for a couple of days. I was racing my bike, as I told you, like the other week, and I was sat in the paddock about to go on the track, and I had a promotion lined up, and that was obviously going to make me a fair bit of money. Again, this is all to do with my list building system, and I needed to send this email, so I logged into my phone and I was sat on my motorbike before I was about to go out and track with my crash helmet on, my gloves. Took my glove off, logged into my Aweber, pushed the button, and then gave my phone so the email got sent out, and then I gave the phone to somebody in the on the side, and then I put my glove back on, and then raced my bike.
Excellent. So did you win the race?
I didn't actually win, no, but as I was racing around, I obviously was making money.
You was making money,
and this is, as crazy as that sounds, I know it sounds hard to believe, but that's what I did, and I had to push the button just before I went out, because my race actually started just as the promotion started online. So
yeah, I mean, mate, this is what I love about this business, is that we can make money while we're doing all sorts of other things. I like to go out, sometimes I go and meet my wife on a Friday night, for example, from work, and we might go and have sit outside one of the cafes in the high street and have a couple of drinks before going home. And it's a really nice feeling to see the money coming in that pays for that while you're doing it. So there you are, enjoying yourself, relaxing, as we've said, and making money, and also while you sleep. I mean, how often do you go to bed at night and wake up in the morning and you've made money while you sleep?
Exactly. And everything I show in the Avalanche List Building 2.0 course is everything that I'm now doing in my business. And like I go to bed at night, I wake up with payments in. I've got affiliate commissions that come in every day. And having some type of a system in place is so important, and the money really is in the list. But the problem is,